Is October 25th, 2024. Again, this morning. Some lady pulled up behind me at McDonald's and yelled out her window, "They need to wipe out the weird with yourself." Honey, there's nothing to wipe out. Nothing. They've told you that. Investigators have laughed at these people. There is nothing to wipe out. It doesn't count against her what those people did to her before. Well, of course not. It was the drug dealers running a drug scam. Photoshopping washing, I've heard of. Showering in the other room. Feminine wipies above the toilet. Laughing at the FBI. June 7th, 23. FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent actually fell for it? You're kidding. You mean John actually fell for it? Oh, come on. You mean FBI agent John actually fell for the stunt of tapes before that were only a stunt? Is that what's going on? To Eric, one of the drug dealers, November 18th, 22, all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it. My idea to do it. My idea to say it. For all these people to turn on her, and they fell for it. Well, if it was only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. To June 30th to July 4th of 23, went to a party, and he was the life of the party, how he made fools out of all these people and fooled them all into helping out with his stunt of tapes before. And he was the life of the party, laughing at all these people he fooled. To the beginning of the case, a little white man walked up to me. "For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. You try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester." I'm like, "Who are you?" He's like, "You know that bruise on your leg?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I used sodium pentothal on you." No, he didn't. He stuck me with a date rape drug in my sleep. Woke up with a bruise, throwing up again. You know what you told me? I never talked to him. You stabbed me in my sleep with an amnesia drug. Something about a wrong nightgown, bending over improperly, and them accidentally seeing your butt, and a life of pain because of it. Try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester for that. I got away from that freak. All the police and feds were all around me. Admitted he worked for Dave. He drugged me up and told me to say lies. Went home to a legally bogged house. And Dave admitted I was wearing a grandma nightgown, underwear, house coat, and they only made fun of the back of my knees. Pull the case for the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and probably we can wipe that one out. Because there was nothing to wipe out, they only seen the back of my knees. They admitted they drugged me and told me to say it before, all kinds of stuff before, and laugh in my face how they framed me. That they photoshopped all their lies, erased some guy named Chris out of the room. I never had a Chris in my house. They said he was one of the main people hurting me. Now, you got to start thinking how dangerous Pete and his gang is. They're drug dealers, child molesters, human traffickers, taking hit jobs to break in people's homes. Stab them with date rape drugs in their sleep, or lace a Diet Coke when they're out of the room, and the other person don't even know they're in their home. Drug them up so they're so stoned they don't know what they're saying or doing and no memory of it. LSD, acid, mushrooms, and a bunch of other ones will make you sleepwalk. Without 20 different prescriptions in high doses will make you sleepwalk. They call them mind-controlling drugs. Okay? They're fake sodium pentothal reports. And the poor victim is, when they come out of it, they're throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out. And here I'm blaming the dirty well water that I'm washing in. Thinking maybe it's got E. coli in it because it's orange. You have to shower real quick. You have to wash your hands after you use the bathroom. Here it only had iron in it. Iron won't make you that sick. Like the doctor said, if you thought you had E. coli in it, if it actually did, it would have made you that sick. I had bruises all over me. They thought I was becoming anemic, muscle pain. You know how bad it hurts to be beat that hard and no memory of what happened to you. Severe personal infection. Here I'm being human trafficked. Under drugs. Drugged up and told to say stuff, beaten, raped. And the cartel cyber stalking me with button cameras. Taping my whole family, including grandchildren, using the bathroom. Sold us all on porn sites. Photoshopped a shower scene, and then by January 19, they said that it was a feminine wipey above the toilet in another room. They photoshopped all their lies. And it's a big drug scam. It's documented by the police and the FBI. I was framed by the drug cartel. And it was a drug cartel in my home. Dave told everyone that he hired Pete on his own. Pete was a local drug dealer to run a drug scheme. He's still out there. He's still dangerous. Now, I want you to think about that. Where I called the hotline, the FBI hotline. I had 4 attempts on my life, 2 documented by the police. I have witnesses of the other ones. 3 witnesses in the mall saying that it was Katie's church doing it. She was bragging. The lighthouse was doing it. Okay? I had them nailed. Then think about this. The next day, they drugged me up so bad I can't even wake up. Phone's ringing, let it go to voicemail. Okay? Woke up later so drugged up I had to hold on to the walls to get to the bathroom, to the refrigerator then, to get something to drink, get back in bed, listen to voicemail. This is Agent da-da-da, call me back, I can't, fall back to sleep. Okay? Second day, not much better. Third day, I made myself get up and I'm sitting on the front porch holding my head. I feel drunk and I don't drink. What's wrong with me again? Went to the doctor all summer long of 18. Bruises I couldn't explain. Orange, lemon, and grapefruit size. Throwing up. Lost 18 pounds before I called the FBI. Severe but swollen personal infection. Here I'm being drug beaten, raped. Migraine headaches, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out. And the bruises I couldn't explain, muscle pain, and a severe personal infection. Here I'm being drug being raped by the cartel running a drug scam on me. Okay? I want you to think about that. Third day, I'm sitting on the front porch. What's wrong with me? Got enough air in my face, called one of my witnesses that I gave the hotline to. So I called and made sure it was okay that she could talk to him. And went out, bought a card, put that agent's number in it from the voicemail. Go up to Apostolic Church of Barbertown. Paul Paymer, the minister, gets in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. Women walk up. He knows she's being drug beat, raped. And he said he didn't care. And I'm covered in bruises, lost 18 pounds. Severe personal infection. And my heart is sinking in my stomach. Where I thought it was a dirty water. Go in and sit down. They follow me. They say it again. He knows she's being drug, beat, and raped, and said he didn't care. If she was going to be faking she was hit and thinking she got well while that family was grieving, he didn't care what they did to her. And if she was going to be mean to their women, he was going to turn her back over to them. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. Now, it's a medication error. Medical malpractice almost killed me. Bunch of crackpots. Made my whole body swell up. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down. Made my brain swell up. Seizures. I have something wrong with my heart. The left side only pulls 50%. And where they gave me the wrong medication, put me into mini heart attacks. Okay? They pulled me off all the medication those crackpots were giving me and put me on fentanyl patches and muscle relaxers, and it took me 9 months to get well. After a bunch of surgeries and my muscles locked up, I went to the wrong doctors afterwards, and I almost died gained 150 pounds. Swelled up so bad my knees are popping out of place. All those horrible things are happening. And another doctor tells me how they're known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping off their insurance, getting kickbacks from drug companies to get an attorney, sue them, turn them out of state, so they pull their license. You're not the first one. You're not the only one they've done this to. And it took me 9 months. And they don't give fentanyl to fakers. It's 100 times stronger than morphine. Okay? And it's Strange's lie to cover up Tim and Katie. He thought I was following them in November of 2003. And it was my sister Linda following her husband. So he made up a shitty baby lie. Had nothing to do with that family. That back in May of 2003, her father ran a stop sign, and more than likely Strange had him killed. Phil was defying him publicly that he would not correct Joyce for swimming in a public pool, which was forbidden, and that a call. They had went to a ladies' meeting in January or February, spent the night in a hotel, and at midnight a bunch of 50-year-old fat women got up and bounced around like little kids in the pool at the hotel when everybody was asleep. And one of those bitches told on him, and he wanted her corrected. And Phil wouldn't correct his wife. And he publicly denounced Strange repeatedly, almost up to the day he died. I don't care what he says. I'm not saying anything to my wife. He got sat down. He was never allowed to work for the church again. He was head usher, soloist, sung in the quartet, song leader. He was never allowed to work for the church again. Publicly denouncing him. Well, and 2 months later, he don't stop at a stop sign with his grandson in the car. Arrogant stunt, or more likely that bastard had him killed. Because I found out like a month ago on a Wednesday morning, some of my clients' neighbors up in Akron, that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on things. It was a medication error made her sick before. Why they wait 15 years to kill her? It was actually ordered in 03. When Strange said it, when he thought she got Tim and Katie together. They were to try to kill her or destroy her. No one was to say or do anything until Dave said he wanted a divorce. It took him 15 years to say it, and then they were to take care of it. They had been planning it for 15 years. Premeditated murder. Now, if he's going to order my murder and destruction for thinking I followed his son and his mistress, and here it's my sister. See, my sister's married to Strange's kid, Tim. Wow, one day seeing her husband with another woman. So when he went to leave, she started following him. She got caught. They thought it was me. Came up to me at church and told me she got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. I'm like, great, thanks. Well, Strange made up that lie by Sunday. And he ordered my death because she was so stupid to be out following her husband. If they would have realized it was her, she would have been dead 15 years ago. Now, a man that's denouncing that minister, publicly denouncing him, won't leave the church, but sitting there telling everybody he's standing up to him. What do you think that minister did? Why didn't he stop at a stop sign? Because according to Brian, he didn't even try to stop. Couldn't control his car. He ordered my death for just thinking I followed his kid. Now think of a man defying him. Why didn't he stop? Don't take much brain cells to figure out why he didn't stop. A lot of people thought he killed him. See, that's one thing about culture. You don't have enough. You're so brainwashed, you don't know to run. Now, you got to think, it took me 9 months to get well. 2.5 years of surgery, year and a half, 2 years of medical malpractice, almost died several times. 9 months of getting well. We're about 4 or 5 year span. I started with Dr. Eli in 2002 on fentanyl patches and muscle relaxers. By April, I'm almost well. And May 3rd, 2003 was a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. Me and my family were at home. Finished getting well in July of 2003. Come November of 2003, is when Linda got caught following Tim and Katie, and they thought it was me. And Strange made up that baby lie. Did it have anything to do with the Vegas? No. Or their tragedy? No. They had nothing to do with me, and I had nothing to do with them. Like my one neighbor said, it's insanity. I said, well, think about it. Her husband had died a couple years ago. I said, when Harry died, I said, if they said Amy across the street in a wheelchair was faking 6 months later, would you hate her? She said, why? She had nothing to do with Harry's death. That's insane. I said, would you secretly hate her for 15 years because someone said something mean about her? Had nothing to do with you? She said, Karen, that's insane. I said, would you secretly plan her death and destruction for 15 years? She's like, Karen, that's insane. I said, would you try to have her killed 15 years later because somebody made up a lie on her? She's like, Karen, that's insane. She had nothing to do with Harry's death. And it's insane what these people are doing to you. It's disgusting that the Vegas are using their family's tragedy to help their occult kill people. It's disgusting. Now, I want you to think about that. Okay? So after those women came in and said that, and I found out the person I was supposed to be mean to was Katie. I hadn't talked to her in 7 years. Tim's girlfriend. Like they said, that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. Dave comes in at that church after those women said that. Let's go, and he threatens my life and screams at me for calling the FBI on him. Punches me in the truck. Almost jumped out. He waited for a loaded gun, put my hand on the console to block him. He went back to punching me. Ran from him when I got home. Next morning, I call that agent back, rivers of tears. Scared out of my mind. Everybody knows I called the FBI. I tell him, someone told on me, you liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Johnny Go. Calls me a liar. There's badgering laws. Okay? I tell him, well, he tried to kidnap me before. And I get, oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office. The ones that are making up shit to help their cult kill people. Oh. And I met with all those church people. I know they were trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. Well, that family was grieving. Strangest lie to cover up Tim and Katie. I said, look, I really was sick before. You liar. Was there a camera above the bench? Now, what did he just confess? He talked to everyone. On a recorded line. He starts screaming about the camera above the bench, and he won't quit screaming about it. And he's like, was there or not? I'm going to put you in jail if there, you don't know if it's not. Now you either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. You know he's a serial killer. He had already killed Lori's family member and went on to take Marlisa's niece. He's part of the human traffickers. Yeah. And before I could say Terry Coberly seen him, he was telling me, oh, even if a church person seen him, they'd never verify it. Well, she did and let me tape her. Description and all. My phone's tapped from the FBI case, and the police got his description, same as mine. Let a serial killer go. No, it's like, no, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. It's absurd. I almost died. And I said, I really was sick before. Now, I met with that family in my office and all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. You can only harm somebody else in self-defense. It's a federal crime. I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. I don't blame them for trying to kill you, and you need to realize what you've done. He actually says that. Like some investigator said, I almost fell out of my chair when I listened to the recorded line. That he was aiding and abetting conspiracy to commit murder. A cop, a federal police officer. I said, I really was sick before. You say it or I'll leave you there, but they'll try to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. Say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let him kill me. Then say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let him kill me. Okay? Why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. And the other one yells out the rapist's name. The man I've never met. Where Dave told Danny he hired Pete on his own. The drug dealer. The local drug dealer. Where my one neighbor showed up in 21 or 22, said he showed up in a store in Ravenna, screamed out he didn't want his wife anymore. Asked everybody to help, and it was the people in the store in Ravenna doing it to me before. My damn luck, there's drug dealers. We could always use Pete's tape of weird with yourself. The shower scene in the other room. The cops already knew it was photoshopped. It's a drug scam. Cyber stalking is a federal crime. Okay? We're on the 6th day. Somebody kicked in our door. And Dave said it was another realtor passing out keys, told everybody else not to, and told me not to report it. They're supposed to set up button camera cyber stalking me. They're supposed to have sold pornography of my whole family using the bathroom, my grandkids on porn sites, selling kiddie porn. Where these people think it's funny. Do you want Pete and his gang to break in your home? So your children, your grandchildren on porn sites, you on porn sites, showering, washing with your partner. Do you want to wake up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, and find out some idiot had drugged you up and told you to say stuff and had you beat and raped? And the doctor thought you had some kind of weird virus. When I told them that was what was causing it, they're like, your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal. So are all these people. They're sick animals. They were to be arrested by federal law the first day. By federal law, they were to be arrested the first day. Okay? All right. We could always use Pete's tape of weird with yourself, the shower scene and washing. Like the cops said, they already knew it was Photoshop. They could tell. Okay? And they knew they had drugged me and told me to say it before. Like the guy said, you could tell she was drugged. I said, what are you talking about? Because it's Photoshopped. And I've never even met him. The only Pete I knew was my brother Medina. Never even met my rapist. Okay? And he's laughing at me for my rapist. Like teenagers said, the FBI made fun of her for being drug, beat, and raped. The FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked. They were using amnesia drugs on her. And she didn't realize what was happening to her. They need to take care of those two idiots for laughing at her. Okay? They said, we could use Pete's tape with something else, and I've never talked to him. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, you don't know. He's laughing at me like a jackass. Okay? And he said, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor selling information. HIPAA violations. Your doctors can never talk about you without your permission. It's some guy impersonating. It's another drug dealer. It's a big drug scam. HIPAA violations, 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. That's how much they can't talk about you. Well, I had some lady use my insurance for 15 years, raked up all kinds of bills. We reported insurance fraud, and even the police had documented half my medical stuff is hers. It was probably one of Dave's side girlfriends. Now, knowing that he was taking his paid time off from work and cheating, for her, like Kay McMillan at Midwest Rubber, the only way she would get her Karen's insurance information is if you gave it to her, Dave. He's like, Karen, I'm always with you besides when I'm at work. Some crazy lady got all our information, bullshit. All my brother knew of her, my mom, and every union rep, because we tried to fight the bills and we got stuck with the copays. She ran up tons of bills. Okay? Found out she had 2 little girls. Was arguing with a hospital one time. Okay? I have 3 sons. Now, here it's just a scam. December 31st, 23, Altman Hospital. My God, nobody's to talk to these people. They had some man impersonated a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information. The hospital gets sued. And my God, nobody's going to ever back those doctors from before. They were lying so bad they said she had brain tumors. And there was nothing wrong with her, but her muscles locked up. And it was a medication making her sick. Nobody's going to back people ripping people off and making them sick and lying. Cops walked by, all those doctors were lying before? Yes. It was a medicine making her sick. It's documented now by the police. Okay? All right. I said, what are you talking about? He's laughing at me. Stop. She don't know. Well, neither did you, buddy. That's why they made a public fool out of you. June 7th, 23. Okay? Give me a real reason. I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died working for the government. Okay? He asked me if I talked to any law enforcement in the area. I said the only 2 cops I've talked to were silly or stupid. August 8th of 18, they came out with a light in the security system at midnight. They told me it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit. I thought they were dehydrated. I offered them water. He's like, you're kidding, right? I said, no. They even told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered out there. And then he offers to take me somewhere and leave me with no money. And then if I agree to get information on David and the churches, he'd open an informant program. Well, they're already confessing to people in the mall. Now, that agent's already confessed 4 times that he's talked to people. Before I met with that family in my office, and then I met with all the church people. He says it twice. Okay? He's told on me. Okay? He's witnessed by the police and hundreds of people telling on me. I said, I can get you information. I thought, it'll be a few weeks. No one else will get hurt. I can hold out, and I'll be set for life. I'm up an account with $5,000 a month. He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case, and you'll have that money to live on when you move out. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in that. But if you try to tell someone, I'll list you crazy and no one will help you. I talked to the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, laughed till I cried. Laughed till he had tears. He said, for one thing, that agent don't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He's only a hired police officer. He said, you don't realize, Karen, you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. You stay yourself and you feed them information. You can tell whoever you want. It's a freedom of speech. It's the First Amendment in the Constitution. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you. He's only a higher police officer. He was only bullying you so they get away with it. The police would know that. And the police know he can't bully you into false statements. Talk to a criminal attorney, same thing. And the prosecutor's office is even no sitting judge would sign its own arrest warrant of taking your freedom of speech away outside a jury trial. The Department of Justice put them in jail. The only thing you can put in there is your money and immunity, and you get the money for working the case and only for working the case. And that agent is only a higher police officer. He don't have authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. So the criminal attorney, so the other police officers I've talked to, and they want to know why our local police haven't arrested him. Okay? I found out through people that have talked to their local police that that agent told the police that he was only acting that way to get their drug dealers. They don't believe him anymore because he didn't pay me and they got all those drug dealers. I have a friend, Grant, that lives out of state. He has a friend in another FBI office. He said if he said that all that on a recorded line, they got him. And the money, he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He is only a higher police officer. You can get the money for working the case and only for working the case. And if she didn't get her money, there's two stealing in that office. Because one has to write up the court order with the money and immunity for the judge to sign it. When the money comes in, another agent has to sign with the other agent that she got her money. There has to be two. It's like a bank dual control. There's two stealing from cases. Now, last night I had went in and used a bathroom. Some guy said people were following around to make fun of her because Agent John told her she couldn't say anything. And they found out she was raped and that none of this is funny. I was tortured too. Human trafficked. My skull crushed it. I was almost shot in the head driving. I had to hide on a shooting night where others got killed. I faced 6 stalkers. I was left in the middle of the drug cartels. The U.S. Marshals had been using the case to blow the hell out of these people. Showed up January 20th, 23. Huh? They used the case. Because under police surveillance with a court order for an FBI informant, protected home custody, threat of life, with statements and a judge's order. The sheriffs have been taping this. And the FBI. It can't be disputed. Huh? We got, for we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. He's a fentanyl. Found out the other one was a Russian selling people. We got the Gentlemen's Club from Florida. Henry Mafia's group, the human traffickers from Florida. Georgia human traffickers. Drug dealers from California, what drugs they were bringing in. We had Michigan, Buffalo, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky, North, South Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, drug dealers all show up here under police surveillance, helping outrun the biggest drug scam. You have a right to privacy in your own home. Like the prosecutor's office said, they made the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. The Fourth Amendment states the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. No one can touch you unless you want them to. It's assault. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause, warranted. You have to have a court order with an oath or affirmation of people, places, or things to be searched or seized, because of the right to remain quiet, the right to an attorney, a right to a fair court trial, bail, and bond, the right to privacy. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. If police or agents do it outside a protected life case with statements and a court order, it's called entrapment. Otherwise, they're stalking tapes. That's why the police call them stalking tapes. Non-admissible stalking tapes. Like the prosecutor's office said, they did the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. And like the criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, please, Dave can't hire Peter or anybody on his own. Nobody could be in your home before. They've told him that Karen around the house, Karen's will stands alone. And why would you make fun of me for a dirty cop stealing from victims' funds? And he didn't have authority. He's been bullshitting all you people. See, that's where Sheriff David, Mike DeWayne's cousin, if he stole your money, if they go back through those cases, he stole others. He's too arrogant anymore. And that's where April 28th, 24, officer in uniform at Walmart on the strip by the canned veggie aisle. Karen, I've been listening to this today. We all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel, and it was a drug cartel in your home before. And we all know that guy told on you before. They sold the case. M13 is hacking protected live cases and live streaming them. It's on Google. They sold even the recorded line. By the way, Agent John, they especially sold the video of them making fun of you. Even little girls as little as 5. We seen a video of them making fun of Will for this. You're a public fool. Exposing corrupt law enforcement in this area, probably. That's what they were doing. They're after you the whole time. It's a setup for you. Cookie. See, I actually want my money to help my family. Dave fled the country. Never coming back, thank God. I hope he ends up in a federal prison over in another country. That'd serve him right. That's where investigator Karen's a victim of an occult that drugged her and tried to kill her before. Victim. Or that's the one that her ex-husband tried to have murdered. We all know this woman's innocent. It's documented she was framed by the drug cartel. Officer Mark was telling the lady it was documented, verified. I was framed by the drug cartel, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. And it's documented and verified another woman was using my insurance, and it was a medication error that made me sick before. You wanna play? Stupid upon stupid. The other day in Bob Evans, some lady found out where the police had told people they were never interested in me. A drugged up rape victim. They were never interested in me. Ever. She went in and puked and puked and puked. What have we been doing? What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Making fun of a rape victim the cartel is running a drug scam on. And they laugh at you publicly. Mock you. Mock the FBI. I thought there would be SWAT teams last year. When they were mocking FBI agent John, June 7th, 23, it's like the bastards confessed. SWAT teams. And when they dared the FBI, July 9th, 23, at Trinity Gospel, the cartel dared them to fix it. I thought SWAT teams, right? Then nothing. You still owe me that money. I wanted to help my kids. I'm the only parent they have left. The one that almost died to save him. For Dave said, realize I'll kill everything you ever loved in life, Karen. Realize I'll kill it. Over my dead body. And I almost died to save him. That's where investigators will tell people, how dare you ever insult her? She almost died to save everyone. The marshals used the case, got over 1,000 human traffickers, saved, probably close to 300 kids. I go different places. We all know our case is a nationwide human trafficking scam. And even investigators, she was part of a really big bust. I'm going to upload this.